Hello, hello, hello. I actually realized that the time that I put for the stream to was supposed to start was way ahead of when I actually wanted to start the stream. So it was supposed to be 6:35, but sorry, not 7:35, but I put it on 6:45 for some reason, and it's been an hour at least. At the very least, it's been an hour, and I haven't been live. And I wanted to put that in the live chat, but I had realized it so late, and I was just like, you know what, we might as well just leave it. We'll leave it, and then we'll hop on at 6:45 because we might as well. But yeah, we're here, and I think hope y'all are doing good. We've got some different background today. A little bit of the Christmas tree. I'm gonna blur this actually. I'm gonna blur the background a little bit because I feel like it's a little. I don't want it to be too distracting. But yeah, we've got the Christmas background going on today. We've got a Christmas tree at the background, a little bit of stockings over there. You can see under the lineup. I think it's gonna be very, very nice. I like what I'm seeing. Can I apply filters to this? Let me see. I don't think so. Oh, that might be a problem. Might have to literally edit this on stream. All right. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. I hope you guys have had a great weekend because I don't think mine has been the greatest of weekends, but it's been chill. It's been cool. Can't complain too much about the weekend. It's been all right. Nothing really eventful happening. I'll be going for a photo shoot tomorrow. I was about to say next. I was about to say next week. It's literally tomorrow. I'll be going for a photo shoot tomorrow. So yeah, I think I have that to look forward to. But apart from that, Roma versus Como, I have that to look forward to as well. So yeah, a lot of eventful stuff potentially happening going on. But I think this match is going to be interesting. Bologna versus Juventus. I have looked at both teams. We've watched both teams this season, but Juventus more than Bologna. We haven't watched a lot of Bologna this season. The last time we had a look at Bologna, they were up against, was it Napoli? It was against Napoli, yeah, where Lucumi, the center back, the Colombian center back, I think, was having an absolute ball of a game. But actually, looking at this match, I am a little bit not the most excited, mainly because I think this might be a draw. I think this might be a match where not a lot of stuff is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't think too much stuff is going to be happening in this game. I think it's going to be, unfortunately, it's gonna be a match where we might not see a lot of goals. I hope I get proved wrong, though. I hope I do get proved wrong, but I feel like we're not going to see too many goals in this match. I think it's gonna be a match where Juventus. Juventus in general, they don't even look like they've got goals in them. And Bologna, they look like they've got goals in them, but I don't think they've got enough goals to, put this game to bed very early on. So I'm thinking if I was going to predict, if I was going to make an educated guess, I don't think we're going to see anything more than 2 goals. So maybe Bologna score 2 goals and the game is over, or Bologna score 1 and Juventus score 1. That's my prediction. That's my prediction for this match. Because both teams, statistically, both teams are just, over their past 5 games, how many, what has been their score lines? Juventus, Bologna, they're not teams to look at and think there's going to be a goal fest. But I'm watching this hopefully to get proved wrong. I am watching this hopefully to get proved wrong. So, let's hope for the best in that regard. But I do want to spend some time with you guys as well. I haven't been doing excuse me, sorry about that. That was horrible. But yeah, I haven't been doing a lot of content on the channel for some time now. So I wanted to do this mainly because I want to spend some time with you guys. Spend some time. I don't know why the scoreboard is moving. Anytime I try to fix the I just realized I've been muted. I don't even know how long I've been muted. I just realized I have been muted for I don't know. Anyways, I was talking about the Bologna Juventus match. If I had to make a prediction, I think this is a 2 goal game. Either one team scores 2 goals or it's gonna be a 1-1 draw. That's gonna be my prediction if I had to make one. Juventus should have the upper hand in terms of quality of players, but we have seen Bologna. They are relentless. And if we were to take a look at the league, which we should be, I should have that on screen ready to go. The league table in Serie. I think the Serie has been interesting this season. If we were to take a look at said league table, let's make sure this is right. This should not be the case. This should be the case. Um, okay. I don't know what is going on here. Weird. I'm literally trying to fix this. I want to show the. Um. Okay, we're good. I don't think that's even right on the Watchalong. I had so much time to prep this, and I'm here scrambling. I had so much time to actually prep this, and here I am actually scrambling. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. So let us go and have a look at the league table. So Bologna are ahead of Juventus, which is, I mean, it's a weird position for Juventus to find themselves. 2 points behind Bologna, fifth, seventh. They've got themselves in European football spots. They're doing well, and they've got themselves in a good position. And I think 3 points here takes them to top four. Roma would need to win their next game to, no, actually, it takes them ahead of Roma. Yeah, so Roma needs to win their next game to get ahead of Juventus. Sorry, Bologna. So there's that. Let's get our timer ready. Make sure we're good to go. And I mean, who's more likely to walk away with the 3 points? To be honest, I'm leaning more to Bologna. I haven't really, this is my second time watching Juventus, so hopefully they do surprise me. But I haven't watched Juventus this season and been impressed. You know, we're off though. Hopefully, as I said, Juventus can impress me and show me something different. I think the lineup was basically the same for the Napoli game for Juventus, and same Bologna lineup against Napoli here as well. Lovely ball to Contentao on the right. Contentao, early shots for Juventus. They are starting putting that pressure on as the away team. They obviously don't want to let Bologna get comfortable, because if that happens, you put yourself in a very, very precarious situation. You really do. I'll be keeping you guys up to date with the Madrid Deportivo game, because this could be Xabi Alonso's last game. The match hasn't started yet, but it could be Xabi Alonso's last game. But interesting results in the lovely flick over the top by Jonathan David. He fell there in the last second, but if he didn't, that would have been very, very good for him. Would have been a good position to get a goal. But Juventus, they started well, which is good. It's good that they've started well. Keeps things interesting. If I wanted a team to score first, it'll probably be Juventus. Because I would think if Bologna were to score first, this could be more of a snooze fest. It would be if Bologna were to score first. I think they would be pragmatic, very pragmatic, and they would be effective with your pragmatism. Yeah, that's how I'm thinking. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I think, as I said, the Serie this season looks interesting. Milan drawing to Sassuolo, Napoli dropping 3 points, not even 2, dropping 3 whole points against Udinese, who are, where are they in the league, Udinese? They're down there somewhere. Where are they? 10th, Inter Milan having a tough time against Genoa. So the Serie A is interesting, regardless of maybe the lack of quality in the league. They do come up with some interesting games, and I think Bologna, Juventus, in the situation Bologna find themselves in, I think it is an interesting watch. Bologna just passing the ball around here. They've had a lot of possession now, but they've lost the possession, giving it back all the way to Gregorio for Juventus. I'm very interested to see how Spalletti is going to take this team going forward, because that loss to Napoli, it's not the worst result, because Napoli are good this season. But I think the way in which they lost the game was where I think if you're a Juventus fan, you're kind of a little bit concerned. They didn't look like a team that were going to win the game, even if they played to the next day. Foul here for Bologna, Pierre Kalulu. Christmas plans. I don't have any Christmas plans, to be honest. Christmas is in a week? Next week, literally. I mean, remember the December starting like yesterday. And next week by this time, we would have been done with Christmas. We would have been looking to the new year, 2026. It's a jam-packed year, to be honest, in terms of entertainment. A lovely ball from Bologna. This could be a goal. Oh, Orsolini. Good block from Juventus. And I tell you what, Bologna had the chance to get the first goal of the game here, and Juventus have looked very active since the game started, but defensively, you would say they were a little bit drowsy in that set piece from Bologna. That puts a little bit of, it jolts the Bologna team and fans a little bit to support and put that belief in the team. It's good. It's a good start. Both teams going at each other. But yeah, as I was saying, no Christmas plans for me. Just it's gonna be indoors, eat some Christmas food, and yeah, we gonna be alright. We gonna be alright. And I don't think I even have Christmas plans for the channel. I mean, when is Christmas, to be honest? In terms of the day. Because I don't think there's going to be any matches on Christmas, though. I absolutely doubt that. Let me just check that on the calendar. Christmas Day is on Thursday. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of like basically a weekend. Thursday, Friday. Yeah. So I guess I don't really think I'm gonna make any content on Christmas Day. I don't think I have any Christmas content for the channel, so it's gonna be nothing. And I mean, apologies, to be honest, because it's been a while. I haven't posted. I don't post match reactions. Not like I wouldn't post match reactions anymore. I haven't posted match reactions in a while. And I'm working on something actually on the channel in terms of like equipment and stuff, but I can't really say too much, I'm saying it like it would be a big reveal. It would just be interesting, I think. I think you guys would actually like it in terms of content and equipment. So I want to focus on that, like focus on getting those stuff done. Because recording the videos for the match reaction, editing videos for like once to watch episodes, the only thing I can realistically do is live streams. Like the watch-alongs, the FC26 career modes. Bologna had a really good chance there. Sorry, I had to check something real quick. But Bologna had a really good chance there and was a save from Di Gregorio. Again, Juventus, they're not looking like they can create some proper opportunities out here. They really don't. And it was the same thing, same story with when they were up against Napoli. It was the same story. They weren't, creating opportunities where you look at it and say, if they keep it up, they can get a goal. As for Bologna, they've created 2 good chances where I think if they can keep that up, they put themselves in a good position. Weston McKennie, good ball into the box to find Jonathan David. Content Sá on the right-hand side. Jonathan David, can you find someone? What's he doing? What's he doing? That's a question you always ask yourself with Jonathan David. What is he doing? And I ask the same questions up against Napoli. What was he doing in the box? He got the ball in the box and it looked like he was stumbling a little bit. Bologna played down here, but the referee is not having any of it. He's still down. Cambiaso. Thuram. Locatelli. Another player I thought was going to make that big move, Locatelli. Lovely ball to Jonathan David. Again, what is he doing in the box? He seems to be stumbling every time he gets the ball in the 18-yard box, Jonathan David. And it's a weird one. It really is. Locatelli. Jonathan David again. Yildiz. He can hit one. Thuram. Good shot. Good shot from Thuram, but not on targets. Juventus have not had a shot on target And I mean, looking at it from this angle, this is the closest Bologna had to. I mean, it was a good save from Di Gregorio, actually. Two good saves. Two good saves from Di Gregorio. And Bologna, I think if they can keep it up, they can definitely get something from this game. I think Juventus can. That's why I'm saying it. I think it's going to be a 1-1 game. My prediction is Bologna get that first goal, shock Juventus a little bit, and then Juventus go on the offensive and get that equalizer. So I think that's why I'm thinking 1-1. I don't think both teams have it in them to go like, you know, put more goals past each other. It's not looking like that at all. Coop Mainers, how old is Coop Mainers actually? Come to think of it. How old is Coop Mainers? 27. Thought he'd be younger than that actually. Thought he'd be in like his early 20s. Good interception here from Kelly. Consensao, right hand side, stumbles a little bit. Lukumi again. He's going to be very key for Bologna defensively. He's going to be the anchor man in that defense. Lovely switch of play. But it's not enough. Orsolini, he's not happy with that pass at all from Cambiaghi. And the Bologna midfield split open there. Kenan Yildiz and Jonathan David again. I tell you what, it's been 11 minutes and I'll be taking off Jonathan David if I was the coach. Every time he gets the ball, he feels like he's stumbling. And here it is again. He stumbled, loses the ball. He never feels composed or confident on the ball. He's always getting the ball and it feels like the ball is running away from him. Weird. Jonathan David. I mean, they did get him on a free though, so lovely pass from Mussolini. He's a star man in this Bologna team, but I think although he's got that star man attributes or starman attributes, I think the Bologna team is still a teamwork project, you know? Lovely ball over the top. Kenan Yildiz, can he get there? Kenan Yildiz, good save from the Bologna goalkeeper. Good save. It was a good ball over the top. It was offside anyways, but it was still a good save nonetheless. You know, it's good to get tested once in a while. Ball over the top again. It's a bit of an end-to-end game, actually. For a game I'm predicting to be 1-1, it's very end-to-end. Very, very end-to-end. Losing the ball again, Juventus. Speaking of Jonathan David, I think quality strikers in football nowadays are very difficult to come by. Very, very difficult. I mean, look at the top teams. How many of them have world-class strikers, or even good strikers? Barcelona at the moment, I mean, Lewandowski is not the Lewandowski even of last season or last 2 seasons. He's still a good player, but he's not at his best. So I don't think Barcelona have a world-class striker at the moment. Real Madrid definitely do. Atletico, is Julian Alvarez a world-class striker? I think he's a good... Oh, Bologna. Passing out at the back. Goalkeeper almost didn't get there. The ball over the top. It's a throw-in, though. Yeah, so I think you look at the top teams, and I mean, let's go from one league to the other. So top 4 of all the top 5 leagues. So You look at Real Madrid, obviously they have Mbappe. Barcelona, I don't think Barcelona have a quality striker. I think they have a good striker, but not a quality striker. So I guess they fall into that category because you're looking at world class strikers and good strikers. So Atletico Madrid have a good striker in Alvarez, and then I mean, who's the top four in La Liga? I guess maybe Sevilla. I think Sevilla are definitely in the top four in La Liga in terms of achievements. And Sevilla don't have a quality striker. They used to have En-Nesyri, was definitely up there, but now they don't anymore. You look at the Premier League. Arsenal have Gyökeres, but Gyökeres hasn't really hit form, but I guess he's still a quality striker. City obviously have Haaland. Chelsea don't have they don't have a good striker. I don't think Delap is a good striker yet. He's gonna get there. Manchester United, you're normally in the top four in terms of achievements. They don't have a good striker. Sesko is not that yet. So I think having a consistent striker, having a striker that can consistently get you goals at the moment seems to be a very difficult task. Because look at Juventus. Jonathan David is not that. Even Vlahovic is not that. He's a good striker, but he's not going to consistently get you goals. You'd be very lucky to even get someone with the quality of even a Rasmus Højlund. Not to talk of someone like Erling Haaland. Even PSG. PSG don't have a quality striker. They're good enough to, the team is good enough to not need one, but Bologna player down here, but referee's not having it. Juventus on a counter-attack, and the referee calls for a foul here on Kenan Yildiz. Game is slowing down a little bit. As we're approaching the 20th minute, the game is slowing down a little bit. It started off very, very tense and end to end. But now it has slowed down. It has slowed down a little bit. Just a little bit. Nothing crazy. Hot take: United are never going back to the top. That's a hot one. That's a hot take because United fans are not gonna like that. I mean, it's not crazy to say. I don't think it's crazy to say United are never going back to the top because you look at the way things are going in that club. You look at the way things are going in that club, and I don't know. I really don't. It's an interesting conversation. I think the manager at the moment, Ruben Amorim, doesn't seem like a guy that wants to make changes to take United Bologna in the 18-yard box. Orsolini, can he hit it? Orsolini, good save. He hit it well, but not enough power on that. It was on target, but not enough power. Again, Bologna have been the closest to come to scoring a goal in this game. But as I say that, Kalulu on the run here for Juventus, but it's a bad pass. And the break has broken down. Orsolini. Lovely footwork from Orsolini, and it's going to be a yellow card for Coop Minus. Beautiful footwork from Orsolini to get that yellow card on Coop Miners, because if Coop Miners allowed him to go, you'd be surprised. I mean, how old is Orsolini actually? You should check that. Orsolini. Ricardo Orsolini is 28. Wow. I thought he'd be younger than that. I know Orsolini from Atalanta. Thought he'd still be in his maybe mid-20s. Wow. 28. Crazy. He's a good player though, Orsolini. He was a good player in Atalanta, and in the days of Illich, Malinovsky, Zapata, that Atalanta. He was part of that Atalanta team, and he was a good player. I think he was on the bench, actually. I Thinking of it now, he was on the bench. I mean, Serie A. Now that I think about it, Serie A in the past used to have some really good teams. That Atalanta side was impressive. You know, Orsolini here leading the counter attack for Bologna. Oh, lovely pass, Orsolini. Can Bologna get something from this cross into the box? And it's a corner for Bologna. I think Orsolini is lighting up this stage here for Bologna. He seems to be in the middle and mix of everything positive happening for Bologna here. Cross into the box again. It's a clearance from Kefren Thuram. Yeah, I mean, that Atalanta team, Zapata, Ilicic, Malinovsky, they had a goalkeeper. Oh, mistake here from Bologna. This could be Jonathan David over to Kenan Yildiz. The touch was heavy. The touch was heavy. That was a good opportunity for Kenan Yildiz to create something. Bad pass out the back by Bologna. Beautiful layoff by Jonathan David. His run was a little bit weird, Jonathan David. But the touch was heavy, and even Kenan Yildiz knew the touch was heavy. And Spalletti, he's not liking it. He's not liking that at all. And I wouldn't like it because, I mean, that match against Napoli, which is my first match watching Spalletti's Juventus, it wasn't something to write home about. It really wasn't. Yeah, the Deportivo versus Real Madrid match has begun. I'll be giving you guys some updates on that. Yeah, so in relation to Manchester United, I don't think I even answered the question. Let me just talk about that since nothing really crazy is happening in this game. In relation to Manchester United, I think it's a hierarchy thing in terms of the people at the top don't have the ambition to really want to be a top football club. I really don't think so. In all the time I've watched Manchester United, I don't support Manchester United, but you know, I think if I was going to lovely cross into the box from Bologna here, but good defending again. They're starting to put the pressure on Juventus Bologna. They really are. They really, really are. Passing the ball, I think they can put a good delivery into the box. That's straight to Di Gregorio as soon as I say that. They are on the counter here, Cambiaso. That's one thing Juventus look like they could be good at. On the counter. Consensao. There's no really good options there. But yeah, I think if for the time I've been watching United, you know, as a neutral fan who watches a lot of Premier League football, I've watched United a lot and I've, you know, kind of followed United a little bit in the news and transfer news because in England, they talk about United a lot. You know, in English media, they talk about Manchester United a lot. And I think from what I've seen, they don't look like a club that's chasing the ambition. Oh, what a pass. Is that Jonathan David? Oh, he's quick, Consensao. He is very quick. That's a foul. That's a foul. On Consensao, he is very quick. Very quick, Consensao. And he has drawn a very, very good foul here. But back to United, I think you look at teams like, it was Kalulu actually. It was Kalulu who gave the back heel to Consensao. But yeah, I think with Manchester United, you look at teams like Liverpool, you look at teams like Chelsea, you look at teams like Manchester City, you look at teams like even Aston Villa, Newcastle. You know, Newcastle. Jesus Christ. I don't know why I elaborated on the T like that. You look at teams like Newcastle, and even with those teams, Aston Villa and Newcastle, they look like they're more ambitious in terms of how they want to, you know, what they want to achieve as compared to Manchester United. Because you look at how they approach signings, you look at their standards. the communication about the club, it's so, it feels like a team that's fighting to be in the mid table. It doesn't look like a team that's fighting to be in the top four, which should not be the case. You know, Manchester United should be in the top four. The Manchester United I grew up hearing about should be in the top four. Free kick here for, ooh, good defending. Good defending by Bologna. Complaints from the Juventus players that there was a little bit of a push in the box, but I don't think it's going to be enough to do anything. Yildiz actually tried going for goal. Was it Yildiz or Cotanzao? One of them actually tried going for goal from a very tight angle in a free kick. So yeah, I think if United keep on that route of mediocrity, which looks like that's what you're doing at the moment, I think they could end up being I mean, which team could you say were at the top of their game and at the moment they're not, you know, they're now a mid-table team? I mean, if you look at teams like Tottenham, I mean, can you really say Tottenham is a mid-table team? I think Tottenham have had their fair share of Champions League football and European football in general. I really think so. You know, as bad as you might think Tottenham is, I think they've had their fair share of European football. So, I mean, it would be weird. It would be weird to see Manchester United become a consistent mid-table team, but it looks like that's where they're headed. It really does. It really, really does. Bologna here on the counter-attack. Can they do something? They've slowed it down a little bit. They're starting to find their groove here, Bologna. Cross into the box. Bologna. Ooh. A little bit unlucky there. No one could really get on the end of the cross, but I think it was offside. It was a good cross into the box. I don't know who was offside. Was it the one who crossed the ball? Oh, a handball. Okay. It wasn't offside. Thought it was offside. I was like, how did the offside come on? Weird one. Real Madrid are playing a youth player at left back. Valverde's back at right back again. Valdepinas is playing 18-year-old Spanish left back, or 19-year-old Spanish left back, making his debut. I mean, if you play well, you might as well. You might be in the team. Orsolini cross into the box. Doesn't get anywhere. I mean, if Real Madrid drop points against Deportivo, I think Alonso is gone. That is my thoughts. Counter-attack here for Juventus. Cambiaso puts it in the box for Yildiz. He flicks it back to Cambiaso, but Cambiaso didn't look intent, and it didn't look like he really wanted to get there. Ooh. Going for Bologna. Game is started to slow down now as compared to what we saw in the first half, where both teams were going at each other. And good control. Thuram, that's not a foul? Felt like a foul. Who would you prefer take over the job if Alonso gets sacked? Good question. Because I actually don't know the answer to that question. I don't know who I actually would want to take the job because I don't know the options available in the market. I don't think Zidane. I think Zidane would be the best option, but I don't think Zidane is going to come and take the job because he's waiting for the France job. So if he takes the job, it's going to have to be a 1-year job. Like, literally take the job. And, like, he's not waiting for the next World Cup. I think that's the confusion people have. Like, they're saying he's waiting for the next World Cup to take over France at the next World Cups, like in 4 years' time. He wants to take the France job right after this World Cup, you know? So he probably wants to be there for the Euros. So I think if Zidane wants to take the Real Madrid job, he's literally gonna have to take the Madrid job as an interim. Like he's gonna have to take the Madrid job to the lovely ball into the box for Juventus. But Kenan Yildiz doesn't get there. Good defending from Bologna. Yeah, if Zidane wants to take the Madrid job and go for the France job, it means he's gonna be in the job till the season ends, or till next season, January or something like that. Like, he's not gonna be in the job long term, which is not really what we need. But I mean, I wouldn't mind it, to be honest. Zidane coming in, salvaging this season and winning us a trophy, and then next season we get rid of some players and bring in a manager that we're going to be backing till, you know, we're going to be back until next season, or we're going to be back until like whatever. I think that would be nice, but it wouldn't make sense financially. It wouldn't make sense. Anyways, yeah. So options, Ancelotti is definitely not coming back. I've heard Jose Mourinho, but I don't think I'd want Mourinho at this point. He'd be able to handle the players, but I don't think I'd want Mourinho. And to be honest, I don't know who I would want, because I think people are getting things wrong. Funny enough, I don't think these players would respect Zidane. I'll be very honest with you. The only reason a lovely ball to Kenan Yildiz, he's in a great position. Can he get past these players? Kenan Yildiz, it's a weak ball into the box to try and find Jonathan David. But Cambiaso is still there, cross into the box. And Weston McKennie couldn't connect properly with that header. And the goalkeeper dived for whatever reason. That was never going in. But yeah, I think at the moment, it's not a manager issue. Because I think Xabi Alonso is a good manager and he can get the best out of these players. I think the problem is with the players in the team, the mentality of the players in the team, and, you know, how the chemistry, how people want to play with each other in the team. And I think if you can't solve that, no manager is really going to do anything, because the best thing the manager can do is just talk to the players. And I can guarantee you, Xabi Alonso is talking to these players. That looked like a penalty. Jonathan David got pushed in the back, and I tell you what, that looked very much like a penalty from Lukumi. I mean, if VAR are going to look at this, ooh, there's a hand at the back. There's a hand at the back by Lukumi. Let's have a look at this from this angle. Ooh, I tell you what, that looked like a push. That looked like a push by Lukumi. The VAR is not looking at that though. I'll tell you, in the Premier League, that they'll definitely spend like 10 minutes looking at that. It looked like a penalty. Bologna are going to have to be careful here. There have been a couple of opportunities Juventus have had where they have looked effective going forward from the counterattack. And Bologna are attacking all right, but they need to put that ball in the back of the net if they want to get control of this game. And here they are on the attack, looking to go for it. Cambiaghi looking to find someone. He goes all the way back, and they're just passing the ball around. Thoughts on what Benzema said about Madrid? Yeah, I mean, good segue. I think Benzema hit a lot of good points, and if you think about it, he's actually speaking from experience, because during his time, it's not as if Benzema was a bad player. I mean, if Real Madrid take the time out of their day to go on to sign you, I don't think you're a bad player by any stretch of the imagination. So Benzema was not a bad player coming to Real Madrid, but he realized, same with Gareth Bale and the other players in the team, that Cristiano Ronaldo was the main man. He was the star of the team, and he was the best player in the team. And regardless of how good you are, you have to facilitate for the fact that there is this Ballon d'Or winner in the team. Like literally, he had won a Ballon d'Or before he came to Real Madrid. So he was quite literally one of the best, if not the best player in the world at that time. So when Benzema says the team has to realize each other's strengths and know who's the big man in the team and facilitate that player, he's speaking from experience. Oh, lovely flick. But the Bologna goalkeeper is out. This could be a goal, and it is. Bologna goalkeeper. I think it's offside. I think it's offside. Or a foul. Something. Because the Juventus players were celebrating and they've been halted in their celebrations. The referee is saying something. Either it's offside or a foul somewhere. I don't know what's happening. I think it's offside. I'm so confused. So the Bologna goalkeeper, it was a good ball over the top to Weston McKennie, and the Bologna goalkeeper comes out to kick the ball, and it bounces off Weston McKennie and goes into play. And Juventus score from that opportunity, but the referee has halted play for something. I don't know what it was. I think it was a foul or something. I'm so confused. I am so lost and confused what happened. I think it was offside. It's a bit of a weird one. It is a bit of a weird one. The goal cancelled. Juventus almost went in front in this game. And Bologna, their first warning sign. Their first big warning sign. Bologna. And hopefully it's going to jolt them into action, because I think they have slowed down a little bit. The tempo of the game has gone down a lot from both teams, not just Bologna. Orsolini. Lovely turn from Orsolini. Can he find the pass? Goes backwards. Yeah, so I think until the players figure out that not everyone can be the star man and everyone has to work for each other. Bologna here, Orsolini, I don't know what Orsolini was doing. Yeah, until the players in Madrid figure out that, in my opinion, Mbappe is a star man in that team. The numbers he's been able to put up, no one has even come anywhere close to that. You know? So I think for me, Mbappe is a star man in that team, and it's understandable. I do understand why he was offside. Okay. Yeah, McKennie was offside. Makes sense. But yeah, I think until the players realize that Mbappe is that star man and they need to work and facilitate him in the team, I don't think it's going to work out. I really don't. And I don't think any manager can change that, because, and it's understandable. I mean, is it really understandable? I understand where the players are coming from, because you look at players like Vinicius, Bellingham, and the rest, majority of them have won 2 Champions Leagues, And in theory, they don't need Mbappe. Mbappe needs them to win a Champions League. They don't need Mbappe to win a Champions League. They've won it without him. So there's kind of this mindset probably that, this guy has come into the team and everyone is expecting us to treat him like the superstar when we are superstars. Because Vinicius and Bellingham and Rodrigo, they were superstars before Mbappe came in. So I do understand where they're coming from, but the game of football it's a team game. You can't just rely on your individual brilliance and do what you can do without remembering the team because as we saw last season, Mbappe can score a hat trick in an El Clasico, and if the team is not organized, it wouldn't mean squats. So I think teamwork is definitely lacking in that Madrid team, and teamwork is built on understanding. And you need players to understand. Kenan knew this lovely ball to Jonathan David. Is he going to lose the ball here? Kind of expected him to lose the ball, but he does well. Pass the ball to Thuram. But yeah, I think teamwork is built on understanding. And if the Madrid players can't understand that Mbappe is the main man and they need to feed him and need to work the ball for him. If Mbappe scores 2 goals, you need to find a way to keep those 2 goals. You know, keep the team 2-0 up. Not concede 2 goals after that. So it's a mindset thing and it's a teamwork thing. And they need to understand that. If they can't, I don't think any manager is going to change that. I really don't. Because personally, I do think Alonso he's a fantastic manager, but can't really get anything. Anyways, Real Madrid have scored 1-0, and just like the sun rises every day, Mbappe is the one who scored the goal, as usual, assisted by Jude Bellingham. The 2 players the only 2 players and Arda Güler that I'm, happy with this season. Rodrigo, Vinicius, not so much. I don't know what the situation is going to be with Vinicius in the future, but I don't think it's going to be. I mean, it would be interesting to see because it feels like Vinicius is very protected in that Real Madrid team. Kenan Yildiz, can he find a pass to Conceição? Oh my goodness. Juventus, I'll tell you what, if you're a Juventus fan, you must have the patience of a snail because it's frustrating. If my team was creating chances like this and people were not able to get on these chances, I would be very frustrated. It was a good pass from Yildiz, I think. I think Conceição should get there. I think so. Thuram. Over to McKennie. Flick the ball back to Cambiaso. Lovely footwork, Cambiaso. The pass was lacking. You do all that hard work and deliver a horrible cross into the box. Cambiaso was there, but I think he was offside. They are knocking on the door, Juventus, but they're not knocking loud enough for me. And I think Bologna have definitely slowed down in terms of chance creation. Foul here on Kefren Thuram. Let me just double check if Madrid's goal has been given, okay? Because most of the time Mbappe scores, you kind of like, is it offside? Is he offside? Vinicius has a 5.9 rating. My goodness. The fall from grace for Vinicius is crazy. It really is. From being regarded as one of the best players, if not the best players in the world 2 years ago, to not even being at half his best for the past 2 seasons, it's absolutely crazy. To be honest, I wouldn't mind Vinicius leaving. I'm not a loyalty person when it comes to players in football clubs, especially when it's a club I support. Kefren Thuram here, bombing down the left-hand side. He's still going. Can you find a cross in the box? Ooh, very close. Very close. Good defending from Bologna. I will give them that. They've got good defending. We saw that against Napoli. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm not a loyalty person when it comes to football players, because look at what Mbappe did to PSG. I don't necessarily blame Mbappe, but some might say he should have stayed in PSG and gotten them at least something in terms of a transfer fee rather than leaving on a free. And, we've seen that a lot of times with players. So I'm not, no matter what a player might say, I grew up supporting this club, I love the club, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you could decide not to sign a contract and leave for free, where you get all the benefits. So I'm never going to put loyalty of the club over players ever. I mean, when Ronaldo left all those years ago, I was hurt. I was like, why is Ronaldo leaving? But I was like, hey, he's gone now, you know? We move on. We find someone else. And we did. And we've won, what, 2 Champions League since he's left? So it's, there's a whole line of players who want to play for Real Madrid. So if Vinicius leaves, I'm not gonna be spiteful and be like, oh, you know, he was a bad player, he's trash, stuff like that. Or Solini, good idea. Ooh, off the crossbar. They're starting to get closer, Bologna. I think it's been a better first half than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be a very boring first half. That was a good pass from Mussolini, actually. He probably should have looked for a pass rather than going for a shot, but still on target nonetheless. We'll have a look at the stats in a second. I'll be very interested. I mean, oh, good save. The goalkeeper had a touch to it. We'll have a look at the stats in the second half. I think that would be an interesting conversation because I again, this has been a better first half than I thought it would be. So yeah, on Vinicius Jr., I think if he leaves, obviously I'm not gonna have any hatred for him. It's gonna be like, hey, thanks for your service. You played a very big role in winning us 2 Champions Leagues, got us to 15 Champions Leagues in overall. You did well, but your last 2 years were trash. You know? And we'd be done with it. No bad feelings. I think the people, you know, disregarding everything Vinicius has done for us is kind of, it's not a good look. That is something I wouldn't do. I'll just be like, hey, thanks for your service. You've done well. We need better. That's all. That really is all. Anyways, first half is gone. Looking at the stats now, it's been 50-50, which I'm not too surprised because I think early stages of the game, it was very end-to-end. Both teams were going at each other in terms of creating chances. You know, Juventus would get the counter, then Bologna win the ball. They get a chance. But in terms of quality of chances, as I was saying earlier, Bologna looked like the team that have created the vast majority of good chances in the game. You know, 6 shots, 3 on target, 1 big chance, 0.35 xg. It's positive. It's positive for the home side. And you look at Juventus, and it's kind of the same story in the Napoli game that we did a watch along for. They're getting shots, but they're not quality shots, and they're not creating big chances where you look at it and say, if they can continue creating these chances, or if they can keep approaching the game in this vein, they can score a goal. You know, it's more like, apart from the mistake the Bologna goalkeeper made, I haven't really seen a chance where I'm like, maybe they should be 1-0 up. You know, as compared to Bologna, where I think they probably should have been 2-0 up. You know, they had a chance literally in the last moments of the game that hit the crossbar. There was that cross into the box, the free kick, where Di Gregorio made 2 good saves. So I think Bologna should have been 2-0 up. And I think if Bologna were 2-0 up, the second half would have been more interesting. But again, my prediction still stands. I don't think these teams have it in them to put 3 goals in general in the game. And I don't think any team has it in them to even put 2 goals past each other. I mean, 1-1 might even be an over-exaggeration. We could be seeing a 1-0 game or even a 0-0, you know? Because Bologna's defense looks solid. Juventus' attack doesn't look that good. And I think Bologna, if they can get 1 goal or even 2 goals, I think they'll just, you know, shut up shop. Keep everything quiet. So yeah, I think second half, I don't know if I can say second half would be interesting, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Almost halftime at the Real Madrid match as well. Formation has changed for Real Madrid. It's a 4-4-2 I'm looking at now. Vinicius is still on a 5.9. I really want to know why Mastantuono is not starting. I'll be interested to know what that is. Endrick is suspended. Gonzalo Garcia is on the bench. I'll be bringing on Mastantuono. Put Mastantuono on the right-hand side and put Mbappe and Rodrigo up top. That's what I'd be doing, but I don't know what Alonso is on. When do you think Barca are going to win the next? I'll go into next win the UCL. That's an interesting question. As someone who does not like Barcelona, I hope they never win the UCL. But I mean, they're probably going to win the UCL pretty soon. I think Hansi Flick is a UCL level manager. He has won it before with Bayern. They have UCL level players. I think Rafinha could do that. I don't know if Rafinha could replicate what he did last season. I don't think if he can ever do that again. It would be very interesting to see if Rafinha can do that again. I really think so. I really think it would be an interesting conversation if Rafinha can put up the performances he puts last season, this season. I don't think he can put it up this season, but I think if he can do it next season, it will be interesting. But he's also aging. He is also aging. So I think they've got Champions League quality players in terms of a team that can win the Champions League, in terms of players that can win the Champions League. Pedri, Lamine Yamal. I don't think Ferran Torres is a Champions League level player. I think Rashford could be. To be honest, I think it's debatable. It's debatable if Rashford could be a Champions League level player. I think Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong has won the Champions League with Barcelona, if I'm not mistaken. Their midfield three. Who is their midfield? Who is Barcelona's midfield three, actually? Because I feel like it's always changing. I feel like their midfield three is always changing. I think Eric Garcia is playing DM for them at the moment. Actually, you've sparked an interesting research topic for me now. Where's Barcelona's starting 11? Consistent starting 11. Give me Barcelona. Eric Garcia. I don't think Eric Garcia is a Champions League DM. I think Koundé is Koundé a Champions League right back? Because if we're talking of a Champions League team, Bayern have a Champions League team. Arsenal have a Champions League team. Manchester City have a Champions League team. I don't know if Real Madrid have it. Okay, in terms of individual quality players, Real Madrid have a Champions League level team. You know? But you look at Barcelona, Pedri. So I'm looking at the players that have started for them the most. Ferran Torres up top, Rashford at the left, Rafinha in the middle as an attacking mid, Lamine Yamal the right hand side, Pedri, Eric Garcia as the double pivot, Balde, Gerard Martin, Kubarsi, Koundé, and then Garcia. I think out of the players, I'll take only 4. I think they've got only 4 Champions League quality players in terms of a player that can win a Champions League on their own. Lamine Yamal, Pedri, and the rest are all debatable. Koundé, I don't think Koundé could win your Champions League because he has made a lot of mistakes in the Champions League. Ferran Torres, I don't think could win you a Champions League. Rafinha could. Again, if he can replicate what he did last season, he's definitely a Champions League quality player. Rashford has never been in the Champions League run, so that's why I say it's debatable with Rashford. I think he's got the quality to do it, but I don't think he's ever been in a Champions League run for me to look at and say, yeah, he can definitely play a part if Barcelona get to like a semi-final or a quarterfinal. So they've got a Champions League manager, and if they can get some more players, maybe a DM, a quality DM, a quality center back, that can pair with Kubarsi, because I think Kubarsi could be a Champions League level player. And then, I mean, Balde is good, but you can get a backup that can compete with Balde to be that, to be that player. I think so. So if I had to predict, I mean, Champions League is such a difficult tournament to predict. I could say Barcelona wouldn't win the Champions League and they'll go on to win it regardless. I mean, look at the team that Chelsea used to win the Champions League 4 years ago. That was not a Champions League winning team. So it's a weird competition, the Champions League. It really is. Any team can win the Champions League if luck is on their side. They really can. But if I had to take a realistic guess, I'd give Barcelona 5 years tops. That would be my realistic guess of when Barcelona could win the Champions League next. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. I'm looking at the Serie league table, and it's very difficult to predict who is actually going to win it, because Juventus don't look like you're ready to go all the way. Napoli are dropping points to Udinese. Milan are drawing to Sassuolo. The points difference at the moment is Inter with 33 points and Juventus have 24. I don't think Juventus are going to win the league. So let's take them out of the equation. So let's go top 4. 33 points. Let me just change that actually to my screen to show you guys what we're looking at, so you guys can follow along. So at the moment, Inter with 33 points and Roma with 27 points. If Roma win tomorrow, they go to 30 points. And I think Como could give them a very tough time. I really do think so. But with Napoli dropping points, they're now in 3rd. Milan dropping points, they're in 2nd. So no team has really gone on that consistent run. Look at this. AC Milan are unbeaten in 5 games though, but I don't think anyone has gone on a 10-game winning streak like Arsenal are going on, which could be a question as to, AC Milan have gone on a very long unbeaten run. Not a good winning streak, but a good unbeaten run. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They've gone 10 games plus unbeaten. Oh, okay, they lost in the Coppa Italia. But in Serie A, they've gone 10 games plus unbeaten. Interesting. Very interesting. I didn't know this. Very interesting. Milan are in a good position, but you can't be dropping points to Sassuolo. They're 9th in the league. Should be at least getting something. They've won before. They've won 2 of their last 5. Should be getting points against them, and it's against Fiorentina and Como are winning against Sassuolo, but Milan are not. So I think if a team really wants to put themselves up in the mix of we are going to win this Serie A, they need to go on a long game winning streak, at least 5. Inter are the closest. Their last loss was against AC Milan, but Inter are the closest to going on a long game winning streak. They need to do that. They really need to do that. Inter's next match is against Atalanta. We're definitely watching that. That's after Christmas. Roma versus Como. We'll watch that tomorrow. Juventus versus Roma. We'll watch that as well. yeah, I don't really have any other interesting matches on the agenda. No other interesting matches. Yeah, I think the teams in the Serie need to, they need to fix up. They really, really need to fix up if they want to go far in the if they want to get that gap in Serie. I think so. Because this dropping points to teams you're not supposed to be dropping points to, it's not helping. It's not helping. What are your plans for the channel in the future? Wow. Very intriguing question. I think more content in relation to football, analysis, wanting to, oh, it's 2-0, I think. But it's not 2-0. Thought it was 2-0. I think they rescinded the goal. But yeah, I think adding more content to the channel, making different content. We're about to start the second half though. Making different content in terms of focusing more on the statistical side of football. I want to do a prediction corner for the channel. Like pick some matches and predict, for the people who are, who have some, you know what I mean. Who take those predictions and make some bank on them. Not gambling per se. I mean, I would say not gambling per se. It's literally gambling. Quite literally gambling. My timer. Jesus Christ, almost missed my timer. Yeah. So I just want to make like a predictions corner for the channel. I've got a lot of interesting stuff I want to talk about. If I can do some IRL content as well, meet up with some other football content creators in my space, definitely do that as well. I'm very interested in doing that because I want to make. I'm really, I watch football and I enjoy the statistical side of football, and I mean, obviously the eye test is also very important with that, and I'm enjoying it so much. I really am. Like when I'm making wants to watch episodes, it's so fun doing the research and all of that. It's just that lately I haven't had the time to edit the videos and do said research. But when I was making the videos, the research and even the editing was very interesting. So yeah, those be my plans for the future of the channel. And hopefully 2026 is going to be a big year for the channel, hopefully. That's what we're hoping for. Second half is on the way here. We're looking to see if any team can get something in this game. Again, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if I would not be surprised if this game was to end in a 0-0. I really would not. I really would not be surprised if this game ends in a 0-0. Because I'm looking at this and it's not looking like both teams can really get something in terms of goals, is what I mean. But again, the first half was very interesting, and if you can get more of that in the second half, I would not be surprised if you get one goal. Keep the questions coming in. Again, always appreciate the conversation in the chat when it comes to all these watch-alongs and live streams. I'm very appreciative of the conversations. Very, very much. Man City look to be heating up now. Do you think Arsenal are going to have what it takes to really make this their year in the Prem? That's not the answer. Yeah, I think Manchester City are starting to pick up form. Phil Foden, Erling Haaland, Jeremy Doku, Ryan Cherky, they're starting to gel. They're starting to look like really solid players for Pep Guardiola. And the question is, does Pep Guardiola want to win the Premier League? You know, does he want to actually take the Premier League seriously? Is he aiming for the Champions League? What are Pep Guardiola's aims this season? I think that's the main question, because if I think one thing I've noticed is if Pep Guardiola wants to win something, he goes all out to do that. He goes all out to do that. So if Pep wants to win the Prem, I mean, it would be. I think a lot of people have had this conversation this season that if Manchester City were to win any major trophy this season, it would be the most deserved that it has ever looked for Manchester City. You know, it would look like they actually had to work for the trophy. That's the feel around Manchester City at the moment. Because you look at over the past few years, it feels like it doesn't feel like they've deserved it, definitely, but it hasn't been interesting for Manchester City. There hasn't really been a fight. They've always been like leading. Like sometimes it looks like they've already won the EPL by January. Like they've never made things interesting. As of this year, Arsenal, you know, they've started the year, not Arsenal, sorry, Manchester City have started the year a little bit shaken. They're starting to pick form. They're playing beautiful football. They've got some very exciting players. Erling Haaland looks unstoppable, you know, and they're actually interesting to watch. So I think if Pep Guardiola was to win the EPL and the Champions League, or one of them, I think he would get massive, massive praise as compared to winning the treble. Like when he won the treble, was just like, you know, it was bound to happen eventually. You know, I feel like that was the feel when Pep Guardiola actually won the treble, when City won the treble. It was like, yeah, you know, it was bound to happen. Like eventually we all knew Manchester City were going to win the treble. We just didn't know how long it was going to take for them to do it. You know? So, yeah. Lovely ball over the top for Bologna here. Orsolini is going to keep it in. He's not. He's not going to keep it in. A little bit of a slowdown game. Sorry, I was a little bit quiet. I was literally checking something. Just checking something online here. So yeah, I think Contensao would cross into the box, but Lukumi's here. Lukumi's there. Lukumi's not here. Lukumi's not here with me. Jesus. But yeah, I think Arsenal just need to keep doing what they're doing. They need to keep doing what they're doing and not look at Manchester City, because once you start looking at Manchester City, you start to feel like they're inevitable. And I don't think Manchester City are inevitable. I really don't think Manchester City are inevitable. I think they are very, very stoppable, and it's very possible to stop Manchester City. You know? So it's all in Arsenal's hands, and they just need to focus. Like Thierry Henry said recently, it was like the fear of winning sometimes is, you know, it's bigger than the fear of losing. You know? You can be afraid to win, actually. You can. You can actually be afraid to win, because with that, any small bump in the road, you become a little bit, you know, stressed out. Like you're leading, you're comfortably leading, you're winning, but you're looking at the rear view mirror and there's someone right behind you. And you kind of know they can't catch you, but you're like, are they going to catch me or not? Bologna have started the second half very aggressively. They're starting to create more chances. And Juventus again, disappointing, very disappointing. It's halftime at the Real Madrid Deportivo game. Juventus on the attack here. Bologna with solid defending, and they don't go for the counter attack option. Interesting. They're just passing the ball at the back. Lukumi is complaining about something here. I think he's got a little bit of a cramp, but he's walking fine now. Do you think Inter would ever win the Champions League? It's an interesting question because out of all the Italian teams, Inter have made it to the Champions League final twice, like in 3 years. They were in last year's Champions League final, and they were in the last 2 years Champions League final. So they have the quality definitely to make it to a Champions League final, but do they have what it takes to actually go all the way? That's the major question. I don't know. It's weird with Inter because the two opportunities they had to actually win the Champions League, they went on to disgrace themselves. I mean, I watched that Inter versus Manchester City match, the final. It was horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Like, it was a bad Champions League final. I don't even know how Manchester City made things as difficult as they did. Bologna, oh, that was a chance he should have put on target, went over the bar. And then we all remember the last Champions League final, PSG versus Inter, humiliating final for Inter. And it's like they've got themselves in positions to get to the final to actually have the conversation of they could win the final, but they get there and it's like they don't know what to do. You know, they do all the hard work, get into the final, and they don't know what to do. I mean, we've seen better finals from Dortmund. Dortmund Real Madrid, it was a better final. You know, Courtois just made it look way easier than it was. So Dortmund are putting up more of a fight than Inter are. So I don't know if I can say Inter can win the Champions League. They can get themselves in the position to win it. And I guess when you do make it to the final, it's down to luck, but it's also down to quality. I mean, look at Real Madrid. Majority of the finals that Real Madrid have won, it hasn't been down to luck. It's been down to quality. If it wasn't for Thibaut Courtois, we probably wouldn't have won 2 Champions Leagues. So it's down to player quality. If it wasn't for Vinicius, we probably wouldn't have even got to those Champions League finals. So again, some might say when you get to the Champions League final, it's down to luck, but it's also down to player quality. And I think Inter do have the player quality to get to, do something. But maybe they're just not lucky. Maybe they're just not lucky. Maybe they need to get a team that is not willing to risk it all or go all out in the Champions League final, and then maybe they'll get that luck there. Maybe. Anyways, not too much is going on in this match. Not too much is going on in this match. Juventus are disappointing again. Bologna look like the team to get the goal if there's going to be any goals in this game. Bologna look like the team to get to that goal. But Juventus do have a corner, though. You never know. They could put the ball in the back of the net from here. Cross into the box. That was a beautiful corner. Beautiful delivery. It's a foul on the Bologna goalkeeper. But it was a good corner. Very good corner. Bologna keeper gets it, but Lloyd Kelly kind of bumps into him. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Upamecano to Madrid thoughts. He's a good center back. I don't think he's actually done. I heard verbal agreement something has been agreed. I don't know if he's coming this January. It would be weird. You hardly see Real Madrid make January signings. Orsolini cross into the box. Juventus defended it very well. McKennie, counter-attack here for Juventus. McKennie tries to find the options going forward, but he can't. Thuram just passing the ball at the side. I haven't seen any posts from Fabrizio Romano confirming the Upamecano Real Madrid talks. I mean, I hope it's true. It's true. I hope it's true that he's coming to Madrid, especially if it's in the January transfer window, because I think Real Madrid over the years have very, very famously neglected the January transfer window, mainly because that looked like a penalty. That looked like a handball on a Juventus defender. But the referee shaking his hands. He's not having that. He was right in front of that, though. So I would presume he had a good view of that. Cambiaso. Kenan Yildiz? Is that Kenan Yildiz? I thought Kenan Yildiz was wearing a dark undershorts. And it's different now. He's changed it. That's why I saw him. I was like, is that Kenan Yildiz? Because looking at the handball, it wasn't a handball. On Coop Mainers, I think, or Locatelli, his arms were in a natural position. Referee's not having any of that. And I think it was the right decision. Sub for Juventus, Openda is coming in, and was that Timothy Weir? No, it's not. It cannot be Timothy Weir. Timothy Weir is in Marseille. Openda is coming in for Jonathan David, and Cabal is coming in for, I believe, Cambiaso or McKennie, because he's a left wing back. Cabal is coming in for McKennie still on the field, so probably Cambiaso. It is Cambiaso. Cabal and Lois Openda as we reach the hour mark of the game here. I think it's a good sub. I think it's a good sub, and I think it's something that might make a difference, because I think Jonathan David has found so many good opportunities, but he always looks like a rabbit in the headlights. Very, very stunned on what to really do. McKennie. What do you think is the situation with Juve at the moment, and why they can't hang with the big teams in Italy and Europe? I think Juventus are kind of in a situation, some might say with Manchester United, but Juventus do qualify for the Champions League consistently. You know, it's very rare you see Juventus not in the Champions League. So despite their lack of major achievements, they have qualified for the Champions League consistently. I mean, hence why they've been able to get these players in. Oh, Bologna. Cross into the box. Oh, good defending from number 6 for Juventus. I think that's Gatti. It's not Gatti. Maybe Lloyd Kelly. Lloyd Kelly is a weird one. He went from Bournemouth straight to Juventus. And I never really thought he was a player, like, I never thought he was a quality defender to be moving to Juventus, but I guess he's a starter. He's a starter at Juventus, and that's saying something. That really is. That was a bad cross by Bologna. Bad corner. But yeah, I think Juventus are kind of like Chelsea at the moment. A lot of young players in the team. Yildiz, Consensao, Cabal. Even Thuram to a certain extent it's pretty young. He's pretty young. They've got some quality experienced players. Kenan Yildiz. That was a lovely cutback from Lois Openda. He has come in and instantly the attack line looks better. It was a good counter attack. Consensao found Openda and was a good ball down. Oh, it hit the Bologna defender. It's a corner. It's a good flick on from Yildiz, and he hits that. I would have been on target. Because even with the deflection, it was on target. But yeah, I think Juventus over the past few years have been a team with a lot of young players. And maybe they're lacking that experience to take them over the edge. You know? Cross into the box from Yildiz. What a cross. What a cross. What a cross into the box from Kenan Yildiz. And it's Lloyd Kelly who puts the ball in the back of the net. That was a stupendous cross from Kenan Yildiz. My goodness. He's a good player. He's a good player, Kenan Yildiz. I don't know if he's going to stay in. Oh, it's not Lloyd Kelly. It's Cabal. Super sub. Instant action from Cabal. And I tell you, that was a good cross from Kenan Yildiz. It wasn't straight from the corner. So I think he takes the corner, gives it to Consensao. And Consensao, that was a good cross. But I mean, Bologna should be doing better in that situation. No one's marking him. No one's marking him at all. He has a free header. Free header into the box. But it was a good cross. It was a good cross. But no one was marking him. And if you're Bologna, who have been defending so well this game, you'll be very disappointed with that. Against the run of play, Juventus, I wouldn't have guessed, or I wouldn't have predicted that they got the first goal based on how they were playing. I really wouldn't. Because I'm watching them and they've not looked like it. But I could still be proven right. I think Bologna still have it in them to get that goal. So we could be seeing a 1-1. We could be seeing a 1-1. We could be seeing a 1-1. But it was a good goal by Cabal. Is that Kamaldeen Sulemana? It's not Kamaldeen Sulemana. I was like, what's Kamaldeen doing in Bologna? It is a Sulemana, Ibrahim Sulemana from Ghana as well. Ball is still in here. Juventus, Yildiz keeps it in, but it's out for a throw-in. There's a bit of a struggle between Pobega and Cabal. And Yildiz, my words are not coming out today. Yildiz did well to keep it in. Dalinga is coming for Bologna. Bologna have made a sub. The striker is off. What is the striker's name, actually? Should probably keep that in mind. The Madrid Deportivo match has begun. The second half is on here. Let me just make sure I have got the name of the Bologna defender right. Bologna defender. Dalinga went off for Castro, sorry. Ferguson as well. For Ibrahim Sulemana, okay. So 2 subs for Bologna. 1 attacking sub and 1 midfield sub. Let's see what they can do. 67 minutes. We've got a little bit above 20 minutes to go in this game. And if Bologna want to salvage something from this game, which they would have felt they would be able to get something from this game, probably 3 points. But at the moment, they would need 2 goals to salvage something from this game. That's if Juventus don't even get a second goal. And Orsolini, if anyone was going to go out of this game with your head held high is going to be Orsolini. He's the only one that I've looked at and thought that, you're going to get something. Oh, Lois Apenda, this could be two. That's not a foul? Oh, it's a red card for Bologna. And I kind of thought that was going to be the case because Lois Apenda was gone. You know Lois Apenda running 2 on goal, 1-on-1. He was gone. And the Bologna defender maybe shouldn't have made that. It was a good ball from Di Gregorio. And Lois Apenda, lovely physicality. He got the ball. He was gone. The Bologna player had to take him down. Was that a foul, though? I don't know if that was a foul. I don't think that was a red card. Some might say the Bologna player fell onto Apenda, but I don't know if that was a red card. It was a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity, but well, it's a red card for Bologna. Hegem, he's gone. And it's gone from bad to worse for a team that was dominating the first half and second half. For them to be 1 goal down and now a player down, they're not. It's not looking good for them at all. And that red card has led to. It's initiated a sub as well coming in. It's really looking bad for Bologna. Imagine Juventus score from this free kick. Imagine Juventus score from this free kick. It would just be rubbing salt in the wounds. Do you think Endrick could revive his career at Lyon? I think so. I think Endrick is a good player. Regardless of everything that has happened at Real Madrid and not having the opportunity, I think Endrick getting consistent football, I think he's a good player. Coop Mainers is going to be taking this free kick. Has he got it in him to slot this in the back of the net? I think so. Left-footed, free kick, center of the field. Awesome. That was a horrible free kick. Hits the wall, cross into the box. No one's really there. Bologna, they're not going to get there on the counterattack. 20 minutes to go here. I think Endrick at Lyon could revive his career, but does he have a career at Real Madrid is the question, because Mbappe is not retiring anytime soon, and he's not going to slow down anytime soon. He's not going to slow down anytime soon. So is Endrick going to be comfortable sitting on the bench for Mbappe? I think Endrick is just unlucky because he literally came in the season Mbappe came in, So we were thinking we were going to get Endrick to be our striker, the young striker from Brazil with a lot of hype, probably the next R9, and now we've got Mbappe in the team. So unless we ever find a system to accommodate both players, I don't think that's ever going to work. I mean, it could work if Vinicius goes. If Vinicius ends up, has to leave next season and Mbappe goes to the left and Endrick can show what he can do at Lyon and becomes part of the plans for next season, there's still hope, because I think Mbappe is not a striker. I think Endrick is a striker. I think Endrick is a striker as compared to Mbappe. So if you can get Mbappe on the left-hand side and Endrick up top, I wouldn't mind that. I really wouldn't. But I would like him to go to Lyon and get that game time and, put some minutes under his belt and hopefully some goals and assists as well. Because I think he's 19 now. He's either 19 or, let's check. Hendrick, yeah, he's 19. He's gonna be 20 next year. Next season, next year, he's gonna be 20. And his birthday is such that every season he adds an age. So he's going to be 20 by next year. If he can get himself into that Madrid starting 11 consistently by 21, 22, I think he puts himself in a great position. I really do. There's still time for Hendrick. There's still time for him, but that doesn't mean he has to sit on the bench. Just like Arda Güler, who's getting game time. I think Arda Güler next season is going to be a fantastic player. He's already a good player this year. But I think with the experience he's garnering this year, a lovely spin from the Bologna player. Castro, lovely pass. Bologna, that cross couldn't go into the box. He still got it. He's not got it anymore. Conceição. Good tracking back. Lovely flick by Weston McKennie. Conceição, he still got it. He's a quick player. You don't want to foul a player like Conceição. Or it's a Penda. His introduction to the team has really, really changed things up. I don't know why he didn't start. And you can see Juventus are playing with a different level of confidence now that they've got that goal. Look at Kenan Yildiz turning that player in and out. And I think Lois Openda is definitely added to the confidence that Juventus are feeling at the moment. Because with Jonathan David up top, Mr. Weston McKennie could have given that to Openda. Conceição. Kalulu. Yildiz. Oh, it's Yildiz. This could be two. Oh, almost found Openda. Good defender from Bologna, although they're a man down. Orsolini, the pass was off. He's hardly missed a pass in this game, Orsolini. 15 minutes to go. Can Bologna do something? I haven't even talked about the league table. If Juventus keep the scoreline the way it is at the moment, they go into top 5. 1 point behind Roma. Bremer is coming in. Oh, Bremer was injured. He's coming back from injury, Bremer. A solid center back as well, Bremer. He's good. Coop Mainer's going off. I think Coop Mainers has done a good job today. He would be glad with his performance today. And Bremer is coming in for 15 minutes to just get some minutes in the legs. Hopefully it doesn't cost Juventus a game. It's always nice to bring a player from the bench who is, recovering from an injury, but it's risky as well, because if he comes in, he's not ready, you will be risking your defense being a little bit shaky. But I think Bremer is a good player. And it's nice to see him in the Juventus team. Ooh, Weston McKennie wins the ball. Cabal. Weston McKennie. It's a throw-in for Bologna, actually. Not for Juventus. Oh, it's a throw-in for Juventus. Okay. That was a throw-in for Bologna. Referee was kind of pointing in the direction of Juventus's goal. Foul again for Juventus. Yeah. They're just playing the game at their own pace now, Juventus, now that they've got that goal. And I think they're in no particular rush. That was a foul. That was a foul. Holding on to Yildiz like that was definitely a foul. But yeah, they're in no rush to get that second goal. They would definitely like the second goal, but they're in no rush to do that. And stats-wise, I can have a look at the stats and let you know Juventus have had the better chances in the second half for sure. Bologna are leading in possession, but Juventus have definitely had the better second half. They have 10 shots now, 2 on target with 2 big chances, while Bologna have 9 shots, 3 shots on target, and still only the 1 big chance from the first half. So some might say Juventus have been the better team in the second half. Consensao, Kalulu, Locatelli tries to find a Penda. It's a bit too much. Keneniotis, he's good on the ball. Keneniotis, oh, what a pass. Consensao, this could be 2. That could be a penalty. Referee doesn't blow his whistle. His VAR checking it. Lukumi tries to lift Consensao, but he doesn't want to get up. Keneniotis, cross into the box. A lot is happening here. Referee is not blowing the whistle. Nothing is happening. No VAR calls, nothing. Referee he's not even going back to the penalty shout. Yeah, Juventus are just Consensao still on the ground. That was not a penalty. That was never a penalty. And Lukumi doesn't connect with the tackle, but he connects with his hand. He connects with his hand to the back of Consensao's head, which is what causes Consensao to go down. And I think the VAR should look at that. I don't know how the VAR in the Italian league works, but I think the VAR should look at that. Referee isn't. No one is looking at anything. Wow. I mean, I don't know if lenient is the word to use, but in the Premier League, in La Liga, they probably have a look at that, because Lukumi doesn't connect with the tackle, definitely, but he puts his hand around Consensao's neck and kind of like pulls him back with that. Well, another sub for Bologna. Bernardeschi is coming on for Lukumi. They're going for it. They've taken off a defender in Lukumi, and they've brought on an attacker in Bernardeschi. Keep up the great work. I appreciate the support, FGH. I appreciate the support on the channel. It really has been something, you know. It really has been something. I appreciate all the support on the channel. You know, even with my inconsistent uploads, y'all still show up for the live streams. Y'all still chat. Bremer looks to have cost a foul there, but referee again letting it go. But yeah, I think the support on the channel has been very, very good. I've loved it, and you guys are you know, you make all this content creating stuff worth doing. You know, even though I do enjoy it, you make it very, very worth the time. Good shot. Blocked. Rossellini. Bologna are actually going for it, you know? Oh, Lois Penda. Can he get it? He stumbled a little bit. Bologna have to be very, very wary of the pace of the Belgian. He's a quick one. Very, very quick one. You don't want him running in behind your back line. And Juventus have got good passes of the ball. Bologna on the counterattack here. Bernardeschi, lovely tackle from Kefren Thuram. Orsolini, what a turn. Orsolini. Sulamana. Back to Orsolini. Bernardeschi. Lovely pass from Orsolini again. Bernardeschi. Good shots. But it's saved. He's brought the team alive, Bernardeschi. It was a good shot. I mean, I don't think that was ever going in. That was never going in. Probably should have looked for the pass, but Juventus, I mean, they've got the extra man advantage, so they're definitely not going to let things go when it comes to uh, defensive quality. But here they are on the attack. McKennie, heavy touch from McKennie, and he gets away from him, and it's a clearance from Bologna. We could have a little bit of a twist to the tail in this game here. We really could. 7 minutes to go. We don't know how many minutes of added time is going to come in, but we could have a little bit of a twist to the tail in this game. A draw, maybe. I mean, Juventus scoring a second goal is not really a twist to the tail. They're showing the goal again. That cross from Yildiz, very, very good. It was a good cross from Kenan Yildiz. Do you think Alonso keeps his job? I think if Alonso can grind out results, he keeps his job, definitely. Which I think was supposed to actually be the plan this season, to grind out results, which we were doing very well until the El Clasico. We were doing that very well. We were grinding out results very well until it got to the El Clasico. And ever since then, which is ironically the match where Vinicius had his lashing out because he got subbed off, you know? Throw into the box by Bologna, straight to the goalkeeper. Yeah, I think the aim this season was for Real Madrid to grind out results, which is what we were doing until the El Clasico, until after the El Clasico. Everything just went downhill. So I think if Alonso can grind out results, he keeps his job, definitely, but he needs to win something. I don't think as much as a big task that is to ask Alonso to win a trophy this season. I think he needs to win a trophy this season to keep his job. You know? But he's on a very thin line at the moment. Very, very thin line. He's on a very, very thin line. And he needs to sort that out. Consensao, twisting and turning. He's got a Bologna player on the floor now. Lois Openda, he wins that. Lovely tenacity from Lois Openda to actually run for that ball. Consensao. He can go from 0 to 100 very quickly. 5 minutes to go here. Can Juventus keep things quiet? Bremer. Ball over the top, but it's all the way to the Bologna goalkeeper. As I said, I do feel a little bit of a twist to the tail in this game. I mean, man of the match, I think would be Yildiz. Yildiz definitely takes man of the match. If I had to pick, man of the match for me would be Yildiz. That cross into the box was brilliant, and even before that, he was playing well. Bologna going forward, that pass was bad. They lose it. Kenan Yildiz again, he's still with it, gives it to Thuram. Does well to give it to Thuram, actually. He was crowded a lot. Thuram, Kalulu. Back to Bremer. Bremer, back to Di Gregorio. Di Gregorio. They're just passing the ball around. Locatelli to Bremer. To Kalulu. Must be frustrating. Must be frustrating at the moment for Bologna. Kalulu. Back to Locatelli again. Jesus Christ. Thuram. Are they going to go for the second goal? Thuram. He's bombing forward, though. He's got options in the middle. And it's good defending from Bologna. Juventus have 2 more subs to go. And Moretti, a Girona career mode player. In my FC26 Girona career mode, we got him on loan from Juventus. He's coming on for Consensao Moretti. He's a midfielder, so you can see Spalletti is looking to get more control of the game. But Consensao has done well. He's done well. Not might have the match performance well, but he's done well enough. Kalulu, back to the goalkeeper. Madrid Deportivo, what's going on? Deportivo have equalized. Deportivo have equalized. We're back here again, aren't we? Mbappe is doing his side, is doing his part of the game, but the rest of the team isn't. Antonio Blanco, a former Real Madrid player, has got the assist to Vinicius Jr. with a 5.7. Why is he still on the field? I'll never know. Vinicius Jr. is the only one on the field with a 5.7. Everyone has got a 6 point something rating. The lowest after Vinicius Jr. with a 5.7, the next lowest in the team is Thibaut Courtois with a 6.4. And I'm sure that's because he's conceded a goal. As to why Vinicius Jr. is still on the pitch in the 70th minute of a game we're drawing is the only reason I think Xabi Alonso is going to lose his job. That's the only reason I think Alonso is going to lose his job. Because why is Vinicius still on the field 70th minute when he has a 5.7 rating? He has had one shot the whole game. Nothing. What's his dribbling stats looking like? Since that's the only thing he knows how to do. He has had 0 successful dribbles out of 3. He's had 3 touches in the opposition box. Why is this guy still on the field? Can someone please let me know why Vinicius is still on the pitch? I mean, to answer your question, FGH, I don't think Alonso is going to keep his job at the moment. If he's drawing to Deportivo Alaves, I don't think Alonso is going to keep his job. If we draw this game, we're 6 points behind Barcelona. 6 points behind Barcelona. If we draw this game against Deportivo Alaves, we are 6 points behind Barcelona. That's basically just giving them the league. Like, we might as well, Lois Apenda, this could be 2 for Juventus. 5 minutes to go. Yildiz blocked by Bologna, by the Bologna defenders. I'm not even talking about the Bologna match. But yeah, I mean, if Real Madrid drop points against Deportivo Alaves and we draw this match, we're going to be 6 points behind Barcelona. God forbid we lose this match. Lois Apenda, good save from Bologna's goalkeeper. He has really brought the spark in this team, Apenda. Yeah, God forbid we lose this game. We're going to be 7 points behind Barcelona. Again, it's like what I was saying. Everyone needs to know what they can do and help each other out. Mbappe has done his part, which is not a good thing to say, but in terms of what he can do on the field, Mbappe has done what he can do on the field. The rest of the players need to support him. He's got the goal. Just keep the game, keep it simple. Shut up shop. Get the second goal. Vinicius, someone. It's difficult being a Madrid fan at the moment. It really is. 4 minutes of added time to go here, actually. We had 5 minutes of added time, and we've played 1 out of that 5. And it's looking like, as I was saying, it's either going to be a 1-0 game or a 1-1 game. Nothing more than 2 goals. I should probably make more predictions. It's going to be a 2-goal game. Nothing more, nothing less. At most, a 2-goal game. And it looks like I'm going to be right. Because even if Bologna were to get the equalizer, it's just going to be, something simple. But yeah, 75th minute in the Real Madrid game, we're still dropping points to Deportivo Alaves. If we drop, Rodrigo has scored. Goodness gracious. Please bench Vinicius for Rodrigo at this point. 2 games in a row, Rodrigo has scored. 2 games in a row. This is a player that was on the bench, never complained, never, came out to say anything. He just wanted to be involved. To be honest, that if you look at Rodrigo, that's the only thing Rodrigo wanted. He just wanted to be involved, and here he is. Ooh, that was a good shot from Bernardeschi. It was blocked by a Juventus player. I don't know if it was claiming a handball or a corner. It's Brema. Oh, so it's not anything. Oh, I think it hit the Bologna player. Referee saying it hit the Bologna player. Yeah. Yellow card has been given out for complaints. Yeah. It's a goal kick for Juventus. But yeah, Rodrigo has scored the goal. We're back in front, thankfully. And Vinicius got the assist. Doesn't matter. To drop a 5.9 performance the whole game and get an assist doesn't mean squat. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. He's still a 6.5, even with the assist. He's still a 6.5. So it doesn't really mean anything. But this could be two. Bologna's defender made a mistake here, and Lois Openda, I don't know what he's doing. What is Lois Openda doing? What is... Oh my god, how do you miss that, Openda? How do you miss that? But that's gonna be the game. 30 seconds to go in this game. Bologna will feel very, 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 very hard done by, because I think they looked the better team in the first half. They had a good approach in the second half, but I think the quality that Juventus posed just came out to show in this game. And we are at the 95th minute, but I don't know. The referee has blown his whistle, and that is the match. 3 points for Juventus. Disappointing loss for Bologna. But I think Juventus did deserve it. I think they came into the second half very, very well. We'll have a look at the stats before we wrap things up here. I think Juventus came into the second half very, very positively, and they have deserved this 3 points. They really have. Let's have a look at the match. Oh, can we have a look at the match, please? Have a look at our match stats before we wrap things up for the day. We can. So yeah, look at the match stats. Look at the difference from the first half and the second half. Look at the first half. Bologna all over Juventus. Shots, possession, everything. Second half, it's a whole different game. Juventus go into the second half with more aggressiveness and more wanting to win the game. So, yeah. Juventus, they deserved it. Bologna will feel hard done by, but you can't also necessarily feel unlucky when you don't take your chances. You really can't. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. This has been another great Serie watch along, and I'm excited. I was actually thinking, should I watch the Coppa Italia? I think I would, because there's some interesting matches there as well. So I'll definitely keep that in mind and do that in the future when the matches do come to play. But tomorrow, Roma versus Como, gonna be an interesting match. Look forward to that. I think Como win. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe out there.